It was a cold, rainy evening when Rafik stumbled across the broken-down car on the side of the road. The storm had already knocked out power in most of the town, and visibility was poor. He was heading home after a long day of collecting scrap metal, soaked to the bone, pushing his old, rusted cart along the highway shoulder. The world didn't care much for men like him, poor, worn down, forgotten. But when he heard a faint voice crying for help through the heavy wind, something inside him stopped him in his tracks. He squinted through the rain and saw a car wedged off the road, half sunk into a ditch, smoke rising gently from under the hood. Without hesitation, Rafik dropped his cart and rushed toward it. Inside, a young woman was trapped, bleeding from her forehead, trembling, barely conscious. The doors wouldn't open, the driver's side was crushed, and the front tires were nearly submerged in mud. He didn't ask questions. He didn't think twice. He just acted. Using all the strength he had, he tugged at the door, grunting and straining as the metal groaned beneath his grip. It wouldn't budge. He ran to his cart, pulled out an old iron rod, and began wedging it into the gap. After what felt like an eternity, the door finally gave way. He pulled her out carefully, wrapping his worn-out shawl around her shivering body. "You're going to be okay, Beatty, daughter," he whispered softly, not knowing the weight those words truly carried. She tried to speak, but only managed to whisper, "My name is Ariba." He flagged down a passing truck, insisted they take her to the hospital, and then disappeared into the darkness before anyone could ask who he was. He didn't want praise, didn't want attention. He just wanted to help. At the hospital, Ariba regained consciousness. Her father, Mr. Cameron Malik, a wealthy businessman from the city, rushed to her side in panic. She told him about the man who saved her, describing his clothes, his weathered face, and how he had called her Beatty with such warmth. Something about her description made Cameron freeze. That word. That voice. That face. Ariba noticed the change in his expression. "Dad? Do you know him?" Cameron swallowed hard. Memories long buried began to rise. Over 2 decades ago, he had made a decision that still haunted him. In his youth, he had fallen in love with a woman from a poor village. Her name was Zainab. Their love was fierce, but his family never approved. When she became pregnant, his parents gave him an ultimatum: leave her, or lose everything. Weak and afraid, Cameron chose wealth. He walked away. Zainab had sent him a letter after their daughter was born, but Cameron never read it. He had moved on, married again, and built a new life. He assumed they had moved far away. He never imagined that little girl might still be out there. Now, Ariba's words echoed in his mind: "He called me Beatty." Cameron asked the hospital staff, the truck driver, anyone who might have seen the man.